Hey, what's up, you guys? Eric AFG, once again, bringing another action figure review to you. This is an old one, actually. It's I think it's a Toy Biz figure, but it's old though, so I mean, don't hold me to that. But this is an old figure. It's the Norman Osborn from the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man film, and he was a good Green Goblin. So yeah, this is Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin. That's right. But whole joking aside, though, this is a pretty cool figure. He's supposed to come in an accessory, but I brought him loose off eBay. So, he comes with that chair with the Green Goblin helmet. I don't know if it's glued to the chair or not, because, like I said, I don't have that accessory. But internal articulation is very minimal. No twist, hinge, swivels, nothing like that. This is a pretty old, basic figure. Well, it does have a twist in the wrist, but no hinging, nothing like that. Nothing in the waist. Just single bend in the arm, single bend at the knee, and that's about it. Nothing in the feet. I think it has two peg holes, so if you're gonna place him, but it takes a little doing to stand him without any peg holes, but it is possible. So I just want to go off right the back and say I do like this figure. Face sculpt wise, I'd say it's a very nice likeness of Willem Dafoe. I think that you can definitely see some features there. I like the sculpting of his hair, the wrinkles you see in his shirt. Sorry about my camera being a little fuzzy. See the wrinkle detail in his shirt. You see the creases and wrinkles in his pants. You see the belt buckle there. You see his shoes. It's a very nice detail on the toy company's front for the way that they sculpted him. Now, this figure, it may be dated, but in some ways was ahead of its time because the sculpting was good. So, like, before these types of figures came out, sculpting wasn't so good, but I think this was like a sign, like a beginning of things to come. And by the way, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man action figure that I do possess, but I don't want to dig him up right now. Might I dare say that that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the facial details on that figure was just dead on, just spot on. But I think that this figure did pretty good. When I look at him, I mean, at least from my point, he looks like Willem Dafoe, the actor who played the Green Goblin. Just a good actor. I mean, like how I hear Kevin Conroy's voice in my head when I read Batman comic books, now because of Willem Dafoe's performance, and I've watched the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man like I don't know like how many times, but now when I read comic books, it's his voice that I hear in my head when I read any book where Spider-Man is facing off against the Green Goblin, or what have you. So it's just really awesome. Because of his performance, I really even further became a fan of the Green Goblin. Like, I was already a fan of the Green Goblin. My first introductory to him was not through the comic books, but through the Spider-Man animated series TV show that I used to watch as a kid. That was my first peak and interest there. And then it just grew like exponentially once the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie came out. And Willem Dafoe's performance, it was so good. I mean, dare I say, besides J. Jonah Jameson, beautifully cast and played by, um, um, good grief, the actor's name escapes me. Oh man, darn. But anyway, besides him, perfectly cast as Jonah, I think Willem Dafoe was perfectly cast as the Green Goblin. And I mean, just in my opinion, if he was to be recast in the MCU, I think eventually they will bring Norman Osborn into the fold. Because, I mean, like, how can you not? I mean, I feel like Norman Osborn is Spider-Man's greatest enemy, even though Spidey's illustrious rogues gallery. But I just feel like Willem Dafoe just nailed it. I loved his portrayal as the Green Goblin, and it's probably a fanboy's wish and dream that the MCU would just cast him, like recast him again. I mean, it was Sony who had him, but since Sony and Marvel Disney had practically temporary buddies now anyway, it just makes sense, but it's probably not going to happen. But anyway, I've brought this, I think, Toy Biz Norman Osborn Spider-Man movie action figure to you guys, so I hope you liked it. And until the next time, see ya. I know, that's terrible. I suck.